Welcome back to the build site. We're going to be doing a radon system test today, which is something that most people don't actually do, right, Hamid?
I don't think so.
All right, Hamid Massali is from Fantech. Thank you very much for making the trip. You're an aerospace engineer, right?
Yes, I am. Aerospace engineer, we deal with air moving. Air moves through different machines and devices that we make.
And we're going to be finding out how much fan suction we need in order to ensure that the family who lives here, my family, is going to be safe forever. I hear some people say, oh, radon's that's a myth. It's not actually bad for you at all.
Some people say radon is a myth, but science has proved that it's not. There is direct relation between radon and lung cancer. That has been proven. So the less radon is in your house, the safer you're going to be.
Right, and you want to try and plan for this as much as possible. We have gravel under the entirety of the slab down there, which means that there's air pathways through everything, which makes it really easy for Hamid to be able to do his job. But in some cases, you're probably coming up against people who have lived in their house for 15 years and it's just compacted dirt under there.
Correct.
So you're having to suck on compacted dirt and try and make sure that it's the same pressure everywhere under the slab. How do you do that?
Well, you either have to use a more powerful fan, or there are times that you have to have multiple suction points to overcome that.
Right. And so that's what we're going to be able to do today, is scientifically prove exactly how to achieve the goal of having zero radon in this house. And I'm a dad, so 0 is the number I'm looking for. I'm not looking for 4 or less.
Okay.
Which is so we'll monitor this also as we live here, because obviously what Hamid does here today with the diagnostic is going to be very useful for sizing and planning and designing the system. But ultimately, if it runs or doesn't run, might be my fault as the homeowner down the line. So you have to monitor things. We're going to have a pressure gauge that I'm going to be able to refer to on the wall that shows me that there is still pressure induced by that fan. If the fan goes down, I want to be able to look at that and say, oh, it's not working anymore. Why is that? So behind us, you can see the central chase that runs through the entire house. It goes from the crawl space all the way up to the roof. And one of the systems that's going to run there is potentially the radon system. I'm still figuring out where exactly I'm going to take all these pipes and everything, but we have it. And that's going to be our access point for this test today, where we're going to actually suck on the drain tiles down there. Let's go ahead and get interesting and go to the crawl space. Welcome to the very echoey crawl space. I'm very happy that this place is so clean so that we can install beautiful machines like this. So first off, this is our pipe that I left. Just proud of the 2-inch slab that we're sitting on right now. This is the first time that I've looked down here. Oh, it's wet. That's good. That's its job. This is connected to the interior drain tile that's at the edge of the footing right on the inside, and it's also tied to the outside drain tile at several points, and then both of those are emptied out into the yard. So while Hamid is setting up this system, I'll just walk you through what we have minimally. This is a 4-inch PVC. The fan is going to go outside the house because if there's ever a leak in the positively pressured part, we want that to be exhausted outside, not inside. So we've got the fan itself, which is going to induce a pressure and also be able to measure a flow because we've got a fan curve on this. We have a micromanometer, which is one that came off of my blower door kit. That's monitoring the pressure far off at the far most extreme edge of the sub-slab. So we can just get in around the outside of this 2-inch slab and make sure that we're inducing the pressure all the way out there. That's what we ultimately want. I also am going to take this opportunity to just smoke the edge of this install, because I want to make sure that if there are any leaks below the slab up into the space, that we find them and then seal those off. So this is going to be a 2-in-1 test, which is kind of fun. So what's the maximum CFM that this fan can run?
Maximum CFM at free air will be 550.
Okay.
And it's capable of producing 4.5 inches of static pressure.
Right. And so below the slab, I mean, if we're running anything close to 500 CFM through this fan, that's a major problem because the sub slab is only that thick and it's let's say 2,000 square feet of space times 6 inches. So that's really 1,000 cubic feet. So running this would mean that we would exchange the air twice every hour. Or excuse me, once every 2 minutes if we're running 500 CFM.
Right.
There's some math in the head
Yeah.
for you like that. I hope I'm right. Anyway, that would be extreme. So
That'd be
really,
extreme.
ultimately, we're going to induce a pressure and hopefully just have a very small amount of actual airflow.
Correct.
Okay.
All right, we installed the fan and connected the inlet and outlet to a digital manometer. Make sure it's set to 0. It's a speed controllable fan, and it's EC fan. So first thing you want to do, make sure that it's running at maximum RPM. At maximum RPM, the number here is 10.
That smells good.
The next thing we need to do is read this number, which reads 2.22. Write it down.
2.25 inches of water column, which is something like 500 pascals, is the differential over the fan. And we want the pressure under the slab, everyone under the slab, to be at least, what, like 10 pascals?
10 Pascal. So right now, what are you reading?
Right now we're at -2.5. I'm going to go check my connection and make sure that it's actually as deep down there as possible. So
Okay.
I'm going to go to the far end of the slab, and you just let me know
Okay.
if we hit it. So we had this hose, what I thought was under the slab, but we've got a couple things going on. Number one, I don't want to have to drill through this because we've got a vapor barrier underneath there that is protecting us from radon that would be in the ground. So making one more point would be bad. So I wasn't sure that I was getting under there. I went around the house and went to the drain line, which is capped off. It will have a sprung damper in it to keep water able to get out, but keep air from being able to back in. But this is also vented all the way around the house on the outside under the dirt, which I think is enough dirt on top to keep it pressurized. There will be more dirt later. But I just put this hose, instead of going under the slab, all the way out there by the drain line. And just like a duct system, if we've got a massive amount of leakage, you want to go to a far place. They're all going to kind of leak the same. So in my mind, and you're an aerospace engineer, so you let me know if I'm wrong, but
Okay.
if we're going 40 feet that way versus 40 feet that way, it should be about the same since we know they're both connected to the same air chamber. Is that
Yeah.
sound reasonable?
Right.
Okay.
As long as distance is about the same, yeah.
Great. So we know that I'm in the system now. So let's go ahead and run this thing up and find out what we just did. So we're going to run it to max speed. And we want this number to be at least 10. I would be hopeful that we would be way, way more than 10 with this at max. But we're at 11.5. So let's talk through this real quick. First of all, smoke. What's your assessment right now based on this?
Basically, you're above 10 right now, so we can reduce this.
Okay, so if we're at 80, that doesn't mean that it's running 500 because you said 500 in free air, right?
Yeah.
So how many CFM do you think, can you run that calculation and find out?
Well, let's find out. I've got charts and I've got apps to help me out. So this is the dot there is my operating point right now. There's a table on below says we're running at 218 CFM and 1.43 static pressure.
Okay, interesting. So that would be if I was at 8.
That was if you're at 8, correct.
Okay. So 80% of the fan flow, worst case scenario, if all things stayed exactly the same as they are right now, which they won't. Number one, we're going to add more dirt to the outside of the house. The rock wool will also be covered with a sheathing, which hopefully will stop air leakage from coming up through behind the rock wool where that drainage mat is. So we got a lot of air leakage pathways, I think, right now that are going to be sealed up once the house is actually finished. That being said, we know we can hit 10 pascals of depressurization under the slab, which is good, but that 218 CFM that we're pushing through this right now to get there is a little worrisome to me. I don't know why we should have to push that much. So worst case scenario, we have to run this thing at full speed in the finished state of the house, which only pulls 170 watts. What is that? 6 hours to even hit a kilowatt, that's 8 cents. So anyway, if you wanted to do the math on this, yes, there would be a cost for me keeping everything the same, but hopefully this number is going to come down. We know that we can install this fan, which is actually what this diagnostic kit is made out of, right? This is the Fantech fan. That's the top of the line.
Correct.
Radon control.
Yes.
Okay, great. So if you are installing these systems and you would like to know for a fact that you're going to be installing something that works, the name of this kit is
Pressure Field Extension Diagnostic Kit.
So this ability to scientifically pinpoint exactly how much flow we need is obviously invaluable. Hamid, thank you very much.
You bet.
If you guys have different experiences with radon systems that either do work or don't work, please do comment, like, subscribe, tune in next time.